from one fantastic speaker straight over to another. So if you were inspired by Amy, here is how you can actually dip your toe in the water and study VFX and animation by talking to Saint at Escape Studios. So Saint, I think you might have a presentation, is that right?
I do, and I'm going to find out where it is, and here it is. So you should be able to see this in any second now.
Can.
How about that? Yep.
Amazing. Right, on you go.
Fabulous. Well, thank you very much, Sam and Eric, for this. I'm going to go quite fast because I've got so much to tell you, so much to show, and hopefully it'll be useful. So I'm St. John Walker. I'm what's called the Dean of Industry Engagement, which means it's my job to make sure everything we teach at Escape is up to the minute, is contemporary, and we work a lot with the whole of the VFX animation and games industry to make that happen. So let's just get going. Here we go. So I'm talking about learning VFX and animation and how you might get a job afterwards. So I've got 8 tips to tell you, 8 tips to get a career in animation and VFX. So that's my mission. Let's go. Next thing, right, now let's deal with this straight away. When you start making work, it can seem like you're, at the bottom of Mount Everest and you've got a long winding path to go, and you kind of have, but you shouldn't worry about that. We've all had a squiggly path to get to where we're at, and sometimes you make decisions and they don't quite come off, so you shouldn't ever feel disheartened. Just starting on that path is the amazing thing, and you'll meet so many interesting and amazing people as well. So I wanted to show you that. There's the peak, VFX and animation. It's yours for the taking, but it is hard work, and it takes a long time. And I also like to use this analogy as well. When you meet somebody who works in VFX, and we met Amy there, and if you look at all the great work on Framestores reels, and also Electric Theatre collected after me, you'll think, wow, I could never be like these people. They're amazing. They do all this amazing stuff. But don't forget the iceberg illusion. You're only seeing the success, the things that they've done after years and years of failure, sacrifice, hard work, dedication, persistence. They've been knocked back as well, and they've gone on that squiggly career path up the mountain. So don't be put off when you see some amazing work. You can make that, you can do that kind of work. Don't fall for the iceberg illusion. But let's just quickly talk about what preferences you might have, because animation is one thing, VFX is another. Sure, the careers combine and you can go between them, but in terms of your own thoughts about which you might like to focus on, VFX is about making images that look real, even if they're crazy things like dragons or robots or whatever, and you're building things that are not there in front of the camera, but you're usually using camera footage and adding to it. You're manipulating, and you need to get a kick out of fooling the eye. That's the great thing about VFX. You need to get a kick out of fooling the eye, fooling people into believing stuff. Animation, generally, if you like drawing, if you like creating characters, or you like exaggeration or humor, those are the kind of things that are much more in the animation camp, to be honest. Much more fantastical in a way, because animation, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff, drawn animation or 3D animation. However, the thing you should remember that both of those kind of careers are interchangeable. You can change, and also remember, both are team sports. You need to be part of a team to make all that amazing stuff that you'll see on the Framestore website. So here's first of my tips. DIY, do it yourself. If your school doesn't teach animation or VFX, or you haven't received that kind of training, then why not start making stuff at home? You've got a mobile phone which has a camera. Find out if any of your mates would be interested in working with you. Do something local, be proactive. Don't expect to be taught all this stuff, because it's not, everywhere. Not all schools or colleges teach this kind of stuff. So just shoot stuff in your own area is a great first step. Get into the habit of just being creative for the sake of it. You could make a gangster film. You know, here at Escape Studios, we see lots of people who've made gangster films or their own little sci-fi film, you know, a couple of minutes, or a mystery film, anything. It's up to you. But the first tip I'd say to you, if you're thinking about these industries, just go out and make stuff. Don't worry about whether it's going to look good or not. Just get into the habit of making stuff. Second habit I'd say is develop your own style. We at Escape Studios, we get lots of people who come for interviews who want to get on our courses. We do degree courses and we do postgraduate courses. And sometimes we see lots of Dragon Ball Z rip-offs, you know, and it's great to copy your heroes. If you really like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you really like Deadpool, it's great for you to draw or create Deadpool, but try to make it your own, add your own style, because we don't want mimics. We don't want people who just copy what's gone before. We want people who are going to make the next generation of amazing stuff for cinema or for TV. And to do that, you've got to develop your own style. So think about characters. What powers would your character have? What flaws? And how would that show? You might want to also design props. You know, a lot of people come to us with swords and weapons because they want to get into games, or maybe they want to get into animation or anime. But think about other things like a car. Think about ordinary things and how you can make them look, you know, how you can make them look convincing. So develop your own style is tip 2. And tip 3 is start snooping. And what I mean by that is start researching what's happening in the UK, because as Amy said, everybody thinks it's all in Hollywood, but in fact, there's so much work going on over here. So start snooping, do little searches for VFX companies in the UK. You'll find Framestore, but you'll also find Industrial Light and Magic, Cinesite, and smaller companies like Union VFX, Electric Theatre Company. So go and research and find out what they're doing. If you want to work at Pixar, I'm afraid it's tough because they're not in this country. So by snooping, by doing a bit of research, you can find out what is available in this country and start to build your kind of work towards that. Also, remember, VFX isn't just sci-fi; it's period drama as well. The kind of stuff that your mum and dad might watch, like Bridgerton. There's plenty of VFX in there, but no one knows it. And there's Union VFX recently did a World War II drama called Operation Mincemeat. Loads of mincemeat, lots of VFX in it. So VFX is everywhere, and that's why, as Sam was saying, it's growing so much. So tip 4, I'm going to carry on going. So start networking, no matter how early you are in your sort of journey to try and learn this stuff. Start networking. It's a small industry, and the people you meet today will be the people you, in some cases, you'll carry on knowing 20 years from now. So have a presence online, get yourself a presence online. Remember, LinkedIn is the professional networking site. Now, you might not have a lot to say on LinkedIn at the moment if you're just starting, but get on there and then use that as an intelligence gathering thing. Follow companies like Framestore and find out what they're doing. You'll find tutorials, you'll find events you might even be able to go to. I found a great event at Framestore the other week. It's called Let's Make Films.net, and they have an evening thing where you can go along and network with people. So I know that's London based, but there are lots of things going on. So use LinkedIn as a tool. Also create your own website to put your growing work on there. Get yourself a domain or a website. And lastly, start to professionalize yourself. Some people have emails with, you know, bonkers or very silly things on them. So change your email handle to something professional when you send emails to people. Okay, another thing to remember is it is a people industry. Although it's high tech, you might think, and all this amazing stuff's going on, it is about people. And the screen industries are very good for people will help you and people will support you if you are part of that online community. Tip 5, your reel can only get better. Once you've started making a show reel or a portfolio, you may think, oh God, you know, this is no good. I can see all the faults in this. Don't worry, keep going because it will get better and better. You'll add to it and you'll take things off it as you go. Show a mix of school projects and your own work, because everybody likes to see stuff that you've done in your own time, because that says you're passionate, that says you're ambitious. You know, if you're just passively only putting stuff on your reel, which is from your school or your college, then that's not so good. So try and do your own stuff. Have a digital portfolio, and you'll see that progress as well. Nothing better than to look back over, 6 months ago. My work is so much better now, because you see all that and you have all that in one place. This is a good thing to say. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. So how will they know you? How will they know you're out there? That's where the website comes in. That's where the LinkedIn comes in. Tip 6, got 2 more to go. Eventually there will be interviews. So use some psychology. And what I mean by that is, having a show reel is great. Having all this experience and trying out different software is great. Having a portfolio and an online presence is all great, but eventually that'll only get you in the door. Eventually you'll have an interview. So learn about having interviews, and interviews are great because it means you and a mate could do a sort of mock interview as practice. We do this all the time at Escape. So our students have mock interviews. We have our students and we have people from industry come in and they give them interviews so they get used to the idea of interviews. You can get used to the idea of interviews as well, even if you're very shy and maybe a bit anxious. By the way, everybody gets anxious at interviews, me too. So if you have a portfolio and a great attitude, you're almost there. But if you want to get a job, you need to sort of look after your interview style. And so a good way to do that is psychology, as I say. Get inside the head of the interviewer. Think about the psychology that, what are they after? And how can you show them that you're the answer to what they're after? How can you make their life easier? So read the job description and think about things you're going to say at that interview. Even if you don't get the job, and let's admit it, most likely chances are you won't get the majority of jobs. I never have done. Think about it afterwards. Do a little post-mortem. Did anything surprise you about the job? Go back in your own mind. What was the best thing you said? Keep it positive, because you must have been positive to get in the door in the first place. So don't wallow in self-destruction. But remember that practice interviews with your mates. And some people have this crazy idea that interviews are this rigorous corporate thing. In the screen industries that we're talking about, it's not like this at all. It's a conversation, because they want the best creative for the job. They don't want to catch you out or sort of try to put you down. So remember that interviews they're on your side. The interviewers are on your side. It's a conversation. Now, tip 7. You have choices. I want you to say this because although we're like a university, we have degree courses, and we'd love you to come and join us. There are other university degrees out there, and you need to choose the best kind for you. So do your research into your career path, if you like. University degrees is just one way, apprenticeships is another way, and universities are usually offering 3-year degrees, BScs or BA degrees, and they can vary a lot from one university to another, but they can also cover a whole load of subjects which end up in VFX and animation. An apprenticeship is more where you're doing a job. So you're in a company doing a job, but going off to a college somewhere to learn other bits of it. And it's paid as well. So an apprenticeship is a different kind of way of learning. And then finally, internships. A good introduction to the world of work and soft skills. So you can do an internship in something which isn't even VFX and animation, and it'll help professionalize you. Okay, tip 8, we're there. So let's look at some lovely resources. Amy spoke about this. So first of all, get hold of a copy of Blender. It's free. It's amazing quality. Tough to learn at first, maybe, but there are so many free resources out there. Fantastic. Look at this lot. So you can go to blender.org and find lots of training tips and things and make your own reel. And also there's amazing work on blender.org. This charge, I saw this today, wonderful animation. Look at the quality, all done in Blender. It can inspire you to make great work. We like Pixlr as well, or Pixlr, I don't know how it's pronounced, but anyway, Pixlr is a good one if you're into VFX, because you can take photographs and manipulate them and do lots of VFX with them and build up your show reel that way. So that's amazing. We've got UK Screen Alliance. They've got careers advice. So just remember in your head, UK Screen Alliance will give you the URL. That's great for lots of advice on VFX animation and even further afield. Access VFX, Amy mentioned. There are also great, lots of training resources on there. Check out Access VFX. Screen Skills, they have career maps, which will tell you all about the roles. I haven't covered those at all, but there's lots of roles there for you to look at. So you can actually think about how you might want to specialize. And then there's us, hooray, Escape Studios. So we've got a careers guide you can download for free, and it'll tell you all about the sort of careers that are out there. But we've also got lots of other guides. We've got the Industry Beginners Guide. We've got a show reel. Oh, I'm out of time, but I'll try to shut that up and just carry on for one more minute, I promise. One more minute. And then we've got a software handbook, and we've even got how-to videos about various careers guides. So look at Escape Studios. Remember, never give up. It might seem, you know, you're not really progressing, but you are. Never give up. And that's all. And thank you very much. Thanks. Over to you, Sam.
Oh my goodness me. Can I just say, that was an absolute whirlwind, and there was so much information there. It was amazing. I love that you got that all in. Absolutely fantastic. The tangible tips at the end there were phenomenal. Programs that you guys can go to use now to gain experience, places where you can go to learn more about how, you know, the industry works on more detail. Absolutely phenomenal. Round of applause there.
Thank you.
that was amazing. If we could do that same thing for every industry, that amount of info, such a short space of time would be amazing.